four, three, two. Hello, internet. Hello, friends, enemies, fans of the brand. It's your friend, Chris Kennard, joined as always by the incredible, the incomparable, good old Los Haystack West. My friend, how are you this evening?
Boy, oh boy, do we got a lot to cover.
Let's just all right. Let me prepare the table of contents for any listeners in the world. Let me confirm this tweet. I was going to tweet. I tagged you in it, so bong. There, people know what we're up to for the next 2 hours. This is Haystack helps your playlist part two. But in general, welcome back to Haystack Hates Your Music, season 2, episode 2, technically episode 12. 4 songs from Haystack's greatest songs of all time list. This is the new school edition. There's a lot of hip hop in this list. And speaking of hip hop, the last time we were gathered together, I was still living in a depression nest in North Philadelphia. Now I'm the princess of Port Richmond in a brand new setting. But like we were talking about K Dot and Aubrey, and just like the this was, I think, when we last talked, like Euphoria hadn't even come out yet. Nope. And now it seems as if the war is over. And I only believe that to be true.
Time out. Did anything come out?
Beg your pardon?
We last record?
What?
Did anything drop before our recording?
When we talked last, the only thing that was out was the leaked version of Push-Ups. And like that. That's all that we were working with. Oh wait, no. Taylor Made was out. Taylor Made was out when we were talking, because I was like poo-pooing that shit. And then we got Euphoria. But like from where as far as like the landscape is concerned, I think the war is over, because Aubrey's already planning for his summer, which was my worst fear. But let's just walk back where the fuck we were when the arrows started flying over our heads from Compton to Canada. I know that I was at work and one of my youngins was like, "Hey bro, Kendrick dropped." And I'm like, "You're full of shit." And so I went to lunch, checked my phone. You sent that shit. And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's real." And I sat at the table and I sat there for 7 minutes. And like the look on my face, I was just like, wait, hold on, let me take this shit off real quick. I was like, and like one of the administrators was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "He dropped." And she was like, "Who?" And I'm like, "You'll see." Because like, Shorty was younger than me. She got more important shit to worry about. But it was almost like, oh my God, it's happening. And I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like, I always knew that Dot was just that guy, but I never knew he was just going to unleash an onslaught of entendres. Let me put it this way. Last night I was listening to a live stream with one FD signifier, just like the default uncle of like this like black video essayist shit on YouTube, and he's like, "This nigga Kendrick is an anime villain. He's scary as hell." And I'm like, oh my. It's like Euphoria could have been the end of it, and that would have been it. But he's just like, I got an arsenal just waiting for you. Just like, I dare you to just like speak one syllable in my direction, and I'm gonna hit you with the like 1,000 Years of Death punch, like I'm Akuma from Street Fighter. Golly, like Los, take us back. Where were you? What were you in your domicile? Were you at work? What was happening when Euphoria hit your ears for the first time?
Where was I when Euphoria first dropped? I was in the house.
Oh, you were at home, cooling.
Yes, I was in the house kicking. Right?
Of course, as you do.
No, back with me. Euphoria dropped like what time?
Shit, middle of the I would say early afternoon.
Shit, maybe I was still at work.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, cool. Now I remember. Yeah, I was at work. So, yeah. I'm at work, and I have this. It's this period of downtime, I guess you could say. Where
Sure.
like I finished my first route, like get back to the warehouse or whatever, and I'm pretty much just chilling in my truck while like larger trucks full of tires drop off more tires so I could. I work at a tire distribution company.
Yeah.
Long and short of it. So I'm waiting essentially for my next route. So I had a little bit of downtime. So I'm on Twitter,
As you do.
and I just see Kendrick just dropped. I go, oh my.
We need a shirt with just like your face with "oh my" on that shit, because it's just like.
So I frantically, Ducky, started looking for this fucking song.
Yeah.
So I find the song. I don't even like look for any type of like streaming or anything like that. I just hit the video, and I just let it play.
April 30th.
And I'm just going ape shit. Absolutely ape shit, dog. He first and foremost, right? No, I was mid route when this happened.
Wow, you're in the middle of the drive.
Yeah. I was coming out of Wendy's, looking at Twitter, and then that's when I saw it. So I immediately hopped in the truck. Hit play. All right.
Euphoria.
So first and foremost, let's start off with the fact that Kendrick foreshadowed all of this.
I know if the Sharingan, he's like, I just know all your moves.
But here's the thing, though, right? And you know what? I want to start here. Actually,
Okay.
we need to bring back the rap report card.
Quick side note. It's funny you say that, because to my knowledge, because I got ears and eyes everywhere. The only platform that I know that actively does the hip hop report card is Dead End Hip Hop out of Atlanta. So shout out to those old heads. You know what I mean? They still do that shit. And
they're keeping the genre alive.
They for sure are just like putting in the work of just like keeping, because like they'll review an album and there's like 6 guys in the squad. And after they finish reviewing it as a group, they'll be like, all right, if he's listening to this review, what do you want to say to that rapper? And things of that nature. And so like there's like they've been putting in the time since like Tyler the Creator put his first album out. So like this is like a decade's worth of work, and they consistently upload every week. So I know that one of like the segments that they do is the hip hop report card. And again, that's a group of 6 brothers that are around like our older brothers' age. So
okay.
But I agree with you, because based on like the brief conversation we had on Facebook about Ice Spice, it's like we need to know when and where the grace period for you being a buzzworthy rapper should end, and then like we put the coals to your fire. Like, yes, we know what you're here, we know what got you here, but what else do you have for us?
It's not a matter of time; it's a matter of what you put out.
Certainly, because like in the period of like Ice Spice being like on the scene, we got an EP, we got all these drops, we have her showing up places, we have brands, like offering her money, but like, okay, but like we need that debut, and then we'll see whether we should like keep our eye on you or not. Meanwhile, we have Dot, who's like, here's my last LP, I'm no longer signed to Top Dog. Good evening, Beverly. Thank you for joining us. And now like I'm gonna go do my own shit with my cousin and them, and just like only poked his head up to say, even though I'm not out here with the rest of y'all, I'm still better than every single one of you, and don't you forget it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like everybody else. I'm like, okay, Kendrick, we know you have a Pulitzer, whatever. And then Euphoria comes out.
He
and
flexed the Pulitzer. He shows you how he got that Pulitzer.
Like this whole like since like April, like it like yo I looked up I got online, I'm like, okay, let's get the timeline up. Like Euphoria comes out on April 30th. It feels longer. Like April 30th was only 15 days ago. These last 15 days have felt like 2 months of just like for like peeking around the corner. Like, is Kendrick there? He's gonna drop. Oh my god. He really is like he's the Baba Yaga of like this. He's the John Wick of Compton.
He's the fucking boogeyman, duck. He's the boogeyman, bro.
Like, he really, like, the amount of just like content I've consumed about brothers like saying, yo, when Meet the Grams came out, I was scared. And I want to say,
good.
Like, no, listen to me. Cause like my roommate is a teacher. And so I'm chatting her up like, yeah, this whole Kendrick Drake thing is really wild. And she's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And what's funny enough, like, she's a music teacher and like in Jersey. So I'm thinking, oh, her kids must be putting her on. Nah, she really just has like her head in the weeds in regards to this. So I'm breaking down what's happened so far. Yes, ma'am. And so, like, I'm breaking down the beef. And like while we're chatting, this is the night that Family Matters drops. And so I put it on. I'm hitting the group chat with you. You know what I'm saying? We're like, okay. And then go back to the main feed. Like, have you seen the RDC skits about this whole thing?
Nah.
You should go back and watch the RDC skits, because one of them, like when this first shit started off, they did like a whole bit about Metro, The Weeknd, and Future like getting all their squad together to record a new diss track. Very funny shit. And then like when Meet the Grams / Family Matters came out, they made a skit about that, and they're like, hey y'all, if it gets any more serious than this, we're not making no more skits, because this shit is frightening. And while I'm listening to Meet the Grams, my roommate is watching Breaking Bad, and it's like the season before last. And if you remember what happened in that season, that's when Gus really just like he really airs the whole block out in regards to like the competition, in regards to the cartel. And, like Walt is like, I'm gonna die. Oh, where's the money? And just like listening to that song, just like seeing just like the stress of that TV show. You got like Better Call Saul on screen. You got Jesse on screen. I'm just like, oh my, this is it's very much like when Vince Staples was like, oh, go inside, cuz it might get violence type shit.
I speak on the report card. I say I have to change.
Chill, bro.
Don't worry, LA. I'll get to that.
We'll get back to that.
Oh. I am going to give y'all detailed analysis here.
For the next 25 minutes, we're just going to talk about this shit.
So listen, battle rapping.
Yes.
Drake is like a student of that culture.
Yeah, he's a real hip hop nerd. No disrespect. Much like the rest of us.
Kendrick is of that ilk.
Probably happened in his backyard and shit.
We learned some very, if you actually paid attention as somebody who actually enjoys hip hop and not somebody that enjoys whatever's mainstream,
not a spectator but a participator,
and claims that as hip hop and only that, you notice some very valuable lessons being learned here. All right, I say that to say this. Kendrick absolutely destroyed Drake in every aspect of not only battle rapping in a whole, but every aspect of rap in general. And that is a feat that, well, we knew that Kendrick was going to absolutely demolish Drake. If you noticed and understood that this initially started out as a call out for a lyrical sparring, lyrical competition. Well, Drake apparently can't, battle without bringing up somebody's family. He obviously didn't learn his lesson from Push.
Can we pause?
Yes.
Okay, Bev. If I may, I'm gonna do it straight off the dome. So Let's see.
I can run right through it for you.
I'm about to say March 22nd. No. I'm gonna take it back.
Just give
Drake
me
releases For All the Dogs, which includes the track First Person Shooter with J. Cole, who makes it what?
Yeah, that's another thing.
You want to take it further?
This started 12 years ago.
Yes.
Big Sean's Control.
Yes. Okay. My apologies.
This entire rivalry is deep fucking rooted. And if you're a Kendrick fan, you just been waiting for the fucking day.
Yes, for sure. Everyone was like Phil Collins in the chat.
For that day. But as you were saying.
Yeah, okay, so I will take that course correction. All the way back in time, Big Sean puts out Control featuring Jay Electronica and Kendrick Lamar. When Kendrick gets on the mic, he calls out maybe 15 rappers by name saying, I'm trying to murder y'all specifically. Get your bars up because I'm better than every single one of you.
I respect y'all. I'm about to raise the bar, though. Are y'all willing to raise that bar with me? What's it going to be? Y'all spitting or not? And Pusha T heard that song and tweeted loud and clear, my nigga. He understood the assignment. And Push had been on a tear since.
And I imagine this Control verse came out prior to their collaboration together on Numbers on the Board.
Kendrick and
Push.
Shit. That was before Nostalgia.
That's what I'm fucking saying, though. I imagine because of Control, a nostalgia can take place.
Exactly.
And that's Kendrick's whole intention, because of all the dudes that like he called out, I remember two specific people feeling some type of way. Like, one was Crit, who responded in kind with his own track on one of his own releases, Mount Olympus, and Drake being on Angie Martinez saying, man, I feel some type of way about that shit. I don't like that shit. And that alone, like, that tells you everything about Drake's character, because Kendrick is all like, you use your blackness as like a character attribute and not who you are as a person. Because like if you're really about this shit, you would hear it like Push heard it and it's like, oh word, I better really bring my A game if I want to be number one in this competitive like art. But he took it personally. And like in my mind, like, if I'm Aubrey, I'm not talking about it on Angie Martinez until after we have a phone call. Like, oh, I heard that shit. I got Dot on the phone, and then like, here's how it's gonna go going forward, which in regards to our relationship, in regards to my output. You know what I mean? But like, nah, he responded like a sucker. Yeah. And like, we know Drake to be the sensitive guy. And I'm not making fun of anybody masculine presenting or male who's sensitive, like in a real serious, like, I'm like emotionally battered type shit, because I am that person. I'm not making light of that shit, but we all know how cutthroat hip hop can be, especially if you're the one with the crown. So like, Kendrick is like, I want to wear the crown, and here's how I'm conducting myself. And again, I think this verse took place before Snoop Dogg said, you're the one who runs like the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when Snoop said that shit, Kendrick cried real tears on stage when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So like,
that meant the world to him. That's the thing, right? Kendrick got into this shit wanting to be the best.
Since he was a child.
That has been his main agenda. His main agenda has been to be the best at this shit, at rapping, at connecting rhymes to concept and thought, to telling you stories, everything. He wanted to be a jack of all trades and everything, a juggernaut, if you will. Drake wanted to just be popular.
He wants to be cool.
And the thing is, the way you be popular is you fucking spit, bro. And that's what they don't understand. He be trying to get validation from motherfuckers, and he don't understand the side. Drake don't get it. That's the thing I've like noticed about this motherfucker. He just don't get it.
And like it's clear that he loves this shit as much as we do, but he's missing the point. Like, and I wanted to say, when I first heard Kendrick, it was Hold Up from Section 80. And I wasn't sure. I'll say I wasn't paying close enough attention, so I wrote it off. I'm like, whatever. But then I heard High Power, like the ending song to that tape. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this motherfucker? And then like that leads you to like
that song, and I'm getting the chills as we speak.
Bro, I like because at first I'm like, whoa, this beat is bonkers, and this man is rapping, and I'm like, yo, Cole made this beat. Yo, it really made me see Cole and Kendrick in a completely different light, which is what you're supposed to do when you're the fucking guy. That's what your output's supposed to fucking do. And somehow that hearing High Power, liking High Power, I heard rigor mortis, and I'm like, there is no one on this earth who's doing the shit that Kendrick is doing. I'm getting excited just thinking about the first time I heard rigor mortis, because I'm like, that's such a great fucking beat, and he really just he makes like rapping fast cool. Because like, yeah, Eminem can rap fast, yeah, Tech Nine can rap fast, but it's just like
can you rap at a fast speed where you can still understand exactly what he's saying, and he be actually saying shit with substance?
He's like, I'm really here to I'm here to like destroy every rapper that you like, because I'm the best one here, and like everyone in my crew is better than your guys, and just like he's like, oh, and I love that like the all right third take that he left in the song is like, I practiced this shit a couple of times prior. And like the clip in the video, him holding like a "we'll eat" to like flame your favorite rapper, trying to get back to LA, is like, he's a funny guy, like snappy dresser, and just like I remember the haircut he used to have. Like I watched one of like their old like vlogs when like he really just first arrived with like Absol and Q just like cracking jokes in like the green room and shit, like still being scared of J-Rock. You know what I mean? Because he always just sounded like he was gonna like rob you when he got on the mic and shit like that. I recall like my favorite, like my stoner buddy playing like one of the songs from Untitled Unmastered, where he's like, "Get Top on the phone," and Top goes, "What's up, my nigga?" I'm like in the background, I'm like, there's nobody like Kendrick for real. He's so cool.
He understands nuances as well. You know what I'm saying? And I bring up, like I said, the whole battle rap, that the theme I have, it still drags through this entire beat, because while Drake thought he was on stage doing this shit, Kendrick brought this back to the yard. And what I mean by that is that Drake had the whole strategy of, I'm going to, make some shit people want to hear, while assassinating, who he assassinating him, making jokes and cracking jokes about him, and referencing his wife, yada yada, what have you, so people can go, ooh, yada yada, T. All right, cool. Well, Kendrick said, hey, look, man, we don't have to, get families involved in this shit, because I got some dirt on you, doggy, and I just want this to be a lyrical competition. Well, then Drake puts out
Family Matters.
No.
Further than that,
he said, because Kendrick.
Oh, you're making reference to
Kendrick prefaced this in Euphoria.
Hey, right, that's right. Don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell the truth about you.
Exactly. You're a habitual liar. You're a gaslighter. You're a mass manipulator, and you're going to try to get everybody on your side. But hey, listen, don't tell a lie on me, and I won't tell the truth about you. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and fuck you up lyrically. And, and it goes on about Euphoria just absolutely destroying this motherfucker without absolutely assassinating this character just yet. However, he does get a couple of funny barbs off, especially that sexy red line.
I believe I say two bad bitches. And I want to be the first person to, I want to be the first person to say, you can be like a straight cishet heterosexual as you want and still be a bad bitch. Like, who wasn't it? Pop Smoke who said, "Bitch, I'm a thought, get me lit." Like, and like that, and that was a wavy brother. He's like, bro, like, I'm just we finna just have a good time. Look at my shirt. Look at my squad. We finna
I
ooh.
completely
Like, that's
understand.
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we know that a person like Drake would take offense to that shit.
The comedy in that, right, is that it's Sexy Red. You expect Sexy Red to be, you know, popping ass to music, yada yada, what have you.
Let that cool shit breathe.
The funny, what makes the line even funnier is that if you pan the camera out from Sexy Red, Drake is twerking, throwing ass next to Sexy Red competitively. That's fucking hilarious. that's just generally hilarious.
Bounce that ass.
Like that's funny.
That's
So
the
like,
BBL Drizzy.
Kendrick was just destroying this motherfucker lyrically, and this is where the rap report card comes in handy, because you can point out and review and every aspect of, you know, rapping in general, breath control, flow, rhythm, you know, just lyrical content, lyrical density, things of that nature. This is a rap battle. We're not talking about numbers and shit like that. The numbers don't matter in
They
rap.
do not matter. Yes, it's all about who the streets decide is the true victor. And if you're in a battle and if everyone's cracking jokes on you, like, it's over.
So while Drake was, you know, trying to crack these jokes and yada 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 or whatever, it just seemed like he getting these raps off while, like, you know, looking at the crowd like, I got him, I got him. Meanwhile, Kendrick is staring directly into Drake's soul, like cuz in that one give, you know, the motherfucker where he's like like that motherfucker. Like, while Drake won, you know, fire at not only Kendrick but other rappers as well, Kendrick's talking to you.
And you know, two things come to my mind.
You're not understanding what's going on right now, Drake. This ain't about everybody else. This is between you and me now. Cole's out of this. The reason why folks still say Jadakiss beat 50 Cent, even though 50 will always have higher numbers, because Jadakiss is just a better rapper than 50. That is what it is. He's just lyrically more sound. This is about being lyrically sound, especially in 2005. Exactly, LA.
Hey,
Jadakiss is just much more lyrically sound, rhythmically correct, and outright more, you know, poetically sound as far as devices go.
I want to say
able
this.
To not only use metaphors, but can also use personification, characterization, fucking imagery, just ways to actually, you know, go in on a motherfucker, and which we'll talk further about in this beef. Jadakiss did that to 50. 50 is just more of a showman.
He's more of a character.
Exactly.
Now we know him as Curtis, you know, Mr. Jackson. Kiss is still Kiss.
That's it, right? We get he's
an elder statesman. Like, Kiss is an elder statesman. Like, Curtis is still trying to be 50 for these brands and shit. I can't abide by that.
Yeah and no. Like, 50 like grew up, and it's financially speaking,
and
like,
there are two different paths.
Business standpoint, he's a stellar businessman.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Than he was, you know, 20 years ago when he first, you know, got on the scene. However, he's still a troll. The motherfucker got shot.
He can't turn that part of himself off at all.
Escape death. He get to do whatever the fuck he wanted, for being honest. Not whatever he wants, but like,
yeah,
if he
like,
wants to
it's
troll,
still hot out here for you, Curtis.
Go
respectfully.
Right ahead,
Yo, I just want to say, in regards to Kiss, all I'm saying is, like, after that display during like the verses, not a single person on, not even Kendrick himself, would have like the gall to like come at Kiss the way he just had everyone in his hand
Out of respect.
during that verse, like just like as the kids say, complete and utter aura.
And that's the thing. That's another thing, right? While Drake has spent years manipulating the game, Kendrick actually respects the game.
He's definitely put in the time and then some. What I wanted to say about Aubrey is that like if I'm him and like Euphoria happens, I'm stopping the tour. It's like respectfully, I gotta handle my business. And then I would have been like, hey, to everybody else like getting their shots in on me, your time is coming. But I'm gonna focus on the opponent in front of me. He really thought he could have his cake and eat it too. Exactly. And that's why Kendrick would say later in the beef, I think your stop in Oakland should be your last stop on this tour. And frankly, since like Frank, and if I'm to speak of Cole, knowing they're going to go on tour together made me respect him less. I don't care that it was a good business move. I think that Drake is bad for hip hop in general. I think he's bad for music in general. You know what I'm saying? It's bad brand association. I cut you off. Go ahead.
We're starting to see that Drake's bad for hip hop because listen, while Drake put up a good fight in this battle,
sure, I guess better than I thought he was going to do. Better than I thought he was going to do, and I'll be the first to admit that he did better than I thought.
Listen, man, you don't listen to the likes of Western Road Flows or Ransom and be like, yeah, this is Drake. This is Drake at the top of his game. No, the fuck it isn't. Drake is rapping much better than this. That's what frustrates me.
And I was definitely a fan. I'll be the first to say I was a fan from like when So Far Gone as an EP came out, like legally speaking, that's when I latched on because my sister was putting me on a Drake during like his mixtape run. And I just wasn't like at the time. I didn't have like the patience to receive his work at that time. Not until like he arrived in official capacity. And I'm like, oh, like this shit is cool. I enjoy this. I would say that like the spell he had me under started to like waver when Take Care comes out and I hear Lord Knows. Because I'm just like, this man is talking way too flagrant. Not only about just women, but just like making fun of like the losers who couldn't beat him. It's like, oh, like if you're not like smashing chicks, you can't relate to what I'm saying. It's like, bro, I just got to college, not even got my dick wet. What are you talking about, bro?
Dang.
What?
However, he reeled me back in a little bit with Look What You've Done at the end of that album.
I remember that song. Yeah.
That's a beautiful song. You know what I'm saying? So Drake has rapped top tier before on many occasions.
The potential was always there, and I'll be the first to say it.
His run is him going through just shredding, and then he just started to, you know, he wanted to essentially be a gimmick.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the frustrating thing. Drake is just a gimmick. Like his being black is a gimmick. It's not a being. His being Jewish is a gimmick. That patois shit he does from time to time, a gimmick. The Southern accent he did at the top of
being a road man is like, oh, babes. Yikes.
Somebody once said that Drake is Aubrey Graham's performance art piece, like just one long performance art piece.
Yeah, like the dude from Death Grips. Like he's not really MC Ride off stage, but when he's on stage, just like the way he speaks changes, and just like the way that he like, just like if you've ever heard Death Grips, you know what I'm talking about.
Vaguely. I
talked about that the other day.
Down here. So like the thing is, Drake has not been necessarily an authentic person. Or he hasn't carried himself authentically in the second half of his career, at least. That's why it's when people say that, you know, they used to be Drake fans, or people will be like, y'all used to fuck with Drake heavy, now y'all turned on him. Yeah, because he blew the fuck up, and he didn't.
Yeah, he's definitely like he has big Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah, Drake still operates like a 20-year-old. And he's 37, bro.
Yeah, act your age, bro.
Like, at this point, you got a kid, and the fucking jury's out whether or not you have more kids. But
Listen, and
that still hasn't been, necessarily established, nor, has he beaten the allegations.
I want to say
Because,
something.
hey, man, you try to hide the first one. Pusha T said, no, no, no. You, sir, are hiding a child. He said,
Let that
nah,
boy come home. I want to say something. Like, okay, so like Drake is a brand. He's a businessman. Okay, cool. But like, here's my biggest fucking thing. And this is me getting on my soapbox. It's like the minute that like my lawyers or like my agent, my image consultant hears that like there's like rumors of me being a PDF file, I'm speaking on that shit immediately. But, and my personal opinion, because of Aubrey's white privilege, he doesn't have to care about that shit. And I would just like him to acknowledge that. But like we, as a person in this world existing with like the kind of like shit around his brand and his name, never once like talked about it until like we all forced him to. And when he actually did Hard Part 6, he acts like, oh, like as if we're part of the problem. When it's like, babe, this is all about you. But like he's like, man, y'all are annoying me. I'm done. I'm taking my ball and going home. What?
And in retrospect, listening to Taylor Made, it was all right. I think what like really fucked me up was that, yeah, exactly. Is that he he used the AI and shit. But then when I went back and listened to like the lyrics of the AI, it's like, this motherfucker's projecting.
Like it's not funny.
Motherfucker, you using Tupac to project?
Disrespect. Like remember, like when I tell people who don't understand like the cultural relevance of Pac or Biggie, it's like these brothers are deified. It's not that they're legends or like no one's ever gonna do it like they did. They are gods on this earth.
Bro, how
patron saints
Tupac did not receive good reviews, if I recall correctly. Why would you AI? In retrospect, now that I think about it, though, why would you AI Tupac? Because it's a joke, it's a jab at Kendrick. All right, sure, you're disrespecting the rest of the genre.
The whole West Coast is on your ass now, babes.
And that's the thing. Like, here's what the youngins don't understand, and that's mostly the Drake fans. They're either young or they didn't grow up mentally. The thing is that fuck, I lost my train of thought for a moment.
Hey, for the record, it's 8:30. We're almost 40 minutes in on the stream.
Do
you want to go for another 15 minutes, or should we just like come back to it? Like, I imagine it's gonna come up as we talk about the records we have available to what like that we're discussing today.
Yeah, no, but yeah, all right. So, like I was saying, the fact of the matter is that Drake really carried this like like this was going to be a show for the moment, for the most part, and that's the thing about
that's blip on the radar.
I found my train of thought.
Okay, we're back.
So yeah, that's the thing about Drake. Fans and stands is that they think that Drake is hip hop, and Drake isn't hip hop. Drake is a hip hop gimmick. There's a difference. You understand? They don't. The Drake fans and stands, they didn't care to take any time to go back and listen to any music prior to Drake. Damn the fact that a legendary rapper put Drake on in the first place.
Yeah.
Who cares? Drake's better than him anyway. No, he's not.
Apples to oranges.
So it's like the fact that they think that Drake is the standard, or this era of Drake even is the standard, or should be the standard of rap.
Hell no.
Isn't the Migos flow? That's a fucking problem, because there's so much good, dope fucking rap that spans all the way back to hell, even the 70s. Play Rapper's Delight real quick. That's a motherfucking lyrical exercise for people trying to get into rapping. Also, that beat still rings on to this day. So
great sample.
So you got to know your fucking history in order to understand what this was. And it was a route. It It was a route that Drake got himself into. He decided he wanted to, poke the bear, and then he poked the bear, got his ass throttled,
Bald.
and then pretty much was like, that was fun. I'm going on vacation out. No. You lost. You lost.
Hold this.
And all of that,
quick.
the hard part 6 is essentially a declaration of losing. Especially when you go, you just burn, blah, blah, blah. Nah.
You're talking
started
yourself,
this.
babes.
You started this. Why did you bring this man's wife into this? Why? You didn't have to do that. And that's why he jumped in your shit.
Ooh, I wanna speak.
You're not getting it, Drake.
I wanna say something that Kara Jackson said on Twitter. Shout out to Kara Jackson, great singer-songwriter. Her debut album is out now. It's called Why Does the Earth Give Us People to Love? Ooh, bars. But she was like, I hate that, because she's a Black woman. She's like, I hate that at the end of the day, Black women and children are just like the people like taking like the most like are receiving the most harm on the as a result of these diss tracks, like who knows what kind of foundations these diss tracks could have taken place on if like they weren't like used as just like pieces of evidence or ammunition to harm the other person. And she was like, hate to be like a party pooper, but I can't get that off my mind. And I'm like, I respect 100% where you're coming from. And I think at the root of that is just a problem with the industry in general or society as a whole. And it's clear that like we don't want to like have that conversation or cannot have that conversation at this time. Yes, Los.
Those subjects that she, in fact, should be concerned about is absolutely too deep rooted in the genre, unfortunately.
Shit, I got a pair of scissors right in my room. Like
misogynoir is just that misogynoir is one of the foundations of hip hop. It's not like
I hate to admit it, but I agree.
It's like the nasty foundation that nobody really wants to talk about in the hip hop community, like slavery in America.
Yes.
You got to know your history in order to understand what this was. And Drake himself didn't understand what this was. Like, you don't understand.
He says it's clear with like Hardcore 6, he's completely unaware of what's going on.
He doesn't, because he think that whatever he says goes. And that's not how rap battles work. It doesn't work on your accord. Otherwise, don't get into it. Stay the fuck out of the arena. There's terms of engagement. There are rules. There are codes. and you disrespected and dishonored just about all of them. And not even 100% realize. That's why Kendrick decided to get dark in your ass. So I bring up Family Matters, right? And I listened to that earlier on the way back to the warehouse for the last time of the day. And actually listening to it, valiant effort, but again, he aiming at other motherfuckers. Meanwhile, Kendrick
talk about everyone.
Aimed directly at you. Then not only that, you bring up his manager, possibly being one of his kids' real father. All right, man. Cool. Drop that. Watch what happens. Not even 20, 30 minutes later.
You activated my trap card.
And you know what? Meet the Grams may go down as one of the greatest beef songs of all time.
That shit is horrorcore.
And the reason why I say that, right, is because this was an absolutely methodical beating, drubbing, destroying, decimation of Kendrick, of Drake that Kendrick did. First of all, he starts off by, apologizing to Drake's son that pretty much your dad's a bitch.
A waste of space.
In many ways than one. And you know what? Since he's such a bitch, let me be your mentor. Let me teach you something. And pretty much just teaches him lessons that comes from shit that happened to Drake. Never let a man piss on your legs, son. You either die right there, pop that man in the head, son. Death before dishonor. Like, show some discipline. Do some push-ups. Get a gym membership. Don't cut corners like your dad did.
Wait, I want to say something really quickly because I said it in real life. I don't want to say it on the stream. I don't like. I think about the Drake that says, "I have body dysmorphia, therefore I'm going to like do some like cosmetic surgery." No one can say shit to the man then because like, oh, I'm going through something mentally that like I don't like. I'm one of the patients or time to fix. I understand those things, but like it's very much like I'm Drake. I'm cool. I have like an image to maintain. And like that does like damage to the black community and just to the community of like young men and boys who like, damn, if I'm like Drake, like maybe like I'll get the money I want, like women will pay attention to me. And like cause imagine like a guy with less money than Drake gets like some ass work or some ab work done, and maybe like something like the way that we lost Miss West. You know, like an accident can occur, like you don't get like the best work or something like that, and God forbid. But it's just like, besides like, and like, cause like it ain't none of my business what you're doing with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a private citizen, like me. But it's just the fact that like you talk about women, but like you're getting the same like kind of things that you're making fun of them for, and so like it makes you seem like a real hypocrite, you know. And like again, like even if he didn't want to get cosmetic work done, if he says again, I have body dysmorphia, but because I want to like be like the image of a man that I respect, I'm gonna be on like you could be on like on your Flow Rider shit and just be known as like the muscle head who raps and shit like that if you want to, but you didn't do either of those things. And we like and we call it into question because apparently you're the guy, right, Aubrey?
Which brings me to the second verse. His parents. He pretty much goes, "Hey, listen, Sandra, I hope you understand what your son is doing out here in these streets. Like, plus the fact that you're a woman, so you should know better. Then under the circumstances that you raise your son in, you should definitely know better. Oh, that reminds me. Hey, Dennis, listen, you raised a mass manipulator. He's even using you. You should probably drain him for all the money that he got.
Mo paper.
You made him.
Mo paper. And mo paper.
You made his gimmick as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But however,
the nerve of you, Dennis.
I kind of blame you for who he is. You raise a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. That's probably
the nerve of you, Dennis.
That line is hilarious to me.
It's supposed to be funny, but Kendrick is a funny motherfucker.
But then he gets serious immediately after because he goes, well, listen, Sandra, sit down, because what I'm about to say is heavy. Listen, your son's a sick man, and I think people like him should die. They should take a long walk off a short pier. Your son is a black man that pretty much hates himself. Then not only that, he has his little buddies on payroll. They're little pedos. Your grandchild is around these people. That doesn't look good. Hey, listen, LeBron, Steph, stay away from this dude, man. He's bad news bears. Then he turns to a child that is alleged at this point. You know what I'm saying? But when we first heard this, it blew our minds because he's hiding another kid. Is that what Kendrick is insinuating here? Well, he says to this unknown daughter that, hey, listen, I'm again, like I told your brother that you probably never met. I'm sorry that your son, that your father is a horrible person, pretty much. Don't be the person that he seeks because, he's kind of trash. You're better than that, but, if you want to know who he is as a person, just listen to this, when you feel sad or anything like that, and understand that he's this. and he's a fucking deadbeat that should never say more life. And then he really starts to hit home. That's what makes this even better. He made this a family therapy session before he finally gets the Drake. At this point, he's going into essentially full villain mode because he pretty much goes, Aubrey, I know you probably thinking I wanted to crash your party, but truth be told, I don't have a hating bone in my body. This was just supposed to be a good exhibition in this game, but you fucked up the moment you called out my family's name. Why you gotta stoop so low to discredit some decent people? Guess integrity is lost when the metaphors don't reach you. Meaning you're too dumb to understand what the fuck I was saying in the first place, and then you had to, drag it to hell. Well, guess what? I traffic in hell. I know about you. You got problems. You got this problem. You got that problem. You got this problem. You got that problem. Yeah. CS therapy will be a good start, but honestly, you need to go on an ayahuasca trip and just kill your ego.
Ego from the heart.
Then he goes, I try to understand where you're coming from and why you think that that you deserve to be, or think you deserve to be the greatest, and yada yada, what have you. Like, yeah, but honestly, you don't really come from much. Actually, you're kind of spoiled. You're a bit of a spoiled kid. Yeah, you're a child star. Like you don't come from where I come from, essentially. Like, matter of fact, take that mask off. Who are you really? Because that's what I've been attacking this entire time. Your character. Who are you really? I don't even think you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not only that, you're lying about who you are actively. You lied about this. You lied about that. Your religion, your rhymes, your friends. You lied about your son at first until push exposed you. You may be lying about more kids. Like, at this point, fuck a rap battle. This is a long life battle with yourself. Like, I try to help you. Like, God damn it, man. That's the great. That is a huge contrast to the greatest rap beef song of all time. Hit him up.
I was about to say hiss by Megan Thee Stallion.
Absolutely slandered Biggie's character with nothing but, not even jokes, just attacks, just barbs, just you fat motherfuckers. Then he went in on Mobb Deep. He was like, don't one of you motherfuckers got sickle cell or something? He didn't even know which one had sickle cell. He just knew one of them did. Turns out, rest in peace, Prodigy.
Rest in peace, Prod.
And then not only that, then you look at Drake's big homie, who's Lil Wayne. This is a motherfucker that pretty much got into a
hasn't said a word, I think, about this whole thing.
A small half-rounded, not even full round, beef with Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
And Jay-Z called Lil Wayne's money baby money, in which Lil Wayne responded with, hey, I will kidnap Beyonce for ransom.
Shit was weird.
All right.
Shit was weird.
And we didn't hear anything back from Jay. So the thing is, right? Yeah, you can get these jokes off. We wanted that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but the thing is, when you make it personal, that's when it becomes a whole nother thing. This is how people got murdered. When you
this is why people were allegedly shot at your home, Mr. Aubrey.
This is why Jay-Z's mom had called into the radio station demanding Jay-Z apologize over Takeover.
I didn't know that. I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
She J Prince, the whole shit. I love that.
Exactly. So basically, up to this point, what Kendrick has done in his agenda as far as decimating Drake is to lyrically tell you, you're a fraud. You are a fucking fraud. All right. And don't mention my family's name again, because then we'll get into some more interesting shit. You understand me? And so Drake puts out Family Matters. Kendrick puts out Meet the Grams. So now we get to the next day, because it's all both of those songs dropped in one fucking night. As a matter of fact, within a 20 to 30 minute span. Done.
Oh, hold up. Live counters at 55 minutes.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, oh, you do? All right.
How long are you willing to go here, bud?
We can go another 5 minutes, I think, and then we can get to the meat of this. We can get to like the subject of us getting together.
Cool. 5 minutes is what I'll need here. So then we get to to say nothing of like 616 in LA, because that was definitely like I just want to say the like you said earlier, like in our discussion, how like Drake's on tour, he's making jokes on his Instagram story, and like Dot puts out Euphoria, we all go damn, and then just drop 616 in LA on fucking Instagram, because like if you go to Kendrick's Instagram, he maybe has like 2 posts, and with 616 in LA being the second post, I remember like brushing my teeth, like using my mouthwash, putting on some fresh deodorant, listening to that song, and we're just like, it didn't have to be this way, but it is. And by the way, I do know folks in your camp, and I can turn it up on you if you really want me to. And so, like you just said, Family Matters comes out, Grams comes out, and then we come to like the coup de grace. Well, hold on, because 616, he was pretty much. What I liked about 616 was that it was the quintessential Kendrick Lamar song. And in the whole, it felt like a Kendrick song. He's spitting. It felt like a heart song, like the heart part. 3, 4, 5.
1 through 5.
It felt like one, like a heart song or whatever. Yeah. However, the title of the song is a shot at Drake's timestamp series.
Yeah.
First and foremost, and then he pretty much saying that like first of all he gets bars off at first, but then he goes, okay.
Told you once.
I warned you. You're a fucking bully. I hate bullies. So now I'm about to bully your bitch ass. And then take it away, Duck.
Mustard on the beat. How?
We get They Not Like Us, which is a fucking hit. It is an absolute hit. Drake, you like hits, right? You like making hits? I got a hit for you. And I'm going to call you a pedophile throughout the entire song. And everyone's going to love it. They're going to play it on in the NBA playoffs during the before they go to commercial. They're going to play it. You know what? The Dodgers, they're going to play it in their stadiums during games. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Look.
I'm a genius.
I'm not watching the Grammys this year for the first time in a long time because of just like the chairman of like the Academy that like gives out that awards. He pissed me off earlier this year. We don't have to get into it here. I might bring it up at the end of the episode, but like 2 things are going to happen for sure. Well, 3 things I think are going to happen for sure. 1, Taylor Swift is going to get nominated for Album of the Year again. 2, Beyonce is going to win Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. Because if she does not, oh my God. And 3, listen. And 3, Kendrick's gonna get a nomination for one of these goddamn songs. It's probably gonna be for Not Like Us is gonna get a Rap Song of the Year nomination. Yeah, I guarantee it.
Now let me round out this subject because we got about a minute. I bring that to bring you this. Kendrick won this battle in aspects of not only lyrical content, which he is king of, the fact that y'all aren't smart enough to be able to decipher what the fuck he's saying, that's on y'all. But he is bringing the ruckus, and he's bringing the entendres, he's bringing the poetry, he's bringing all that, because Kendrick is a rapper in every sense of the word. Drake is a pop artist that just so happened to rap well.
Indeed.
And that's one of the lessons learned here. The other lesson learned, you can't go into a battle, get your ass whooped, and then walk out of the battle like you won it. That's not how this works. You lost that battle. Another aspect that he beat your ass in, he made a chart topper. It says y'all wanted to complain about numbers and shit, since y'all wanted to complain about production.
I'm not going to.
Cool. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So he beat you at your game and his game. While with respect to the game. Masterclass. This is a masterclass ass whooping. Drake should just stop poking bears.
Like I would dare, like, as we've seen online, it has been alleged like his LA home is for sale and he got the fuck up out of here. Mr. Graham, I'm gonna treat you like I treat Mr. Brown. Like, go away for a while and raise your children. I'm sure you'll have plenty of money to just like disappear from the public conscious and then like poke your head out in like the next 5 years saying, y'all still want me? Like, please just like take your ride off into the sunset. I beg of you. Please, like, because I hate to see you turn into like, say, yay, and just like embarrass yourself every time we see you out here in these streets, whatever the fuck you're doing.
Well, at this point, he's built his fan base has dropped into a delusion that is starting to like become Nicki Standum level.
Well,
because now they pretty much they too cool for you know raps.
Oh shoot!
This is how we ended this competition. This was a lyrical competition. And Drake decided he wanted to use Kendrick's wife in these lyrics. And then y'all try to make this a whole nother thing because y'all like drama. That's not what this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be bars. And if y'all don't respect bars, this ain't your arena. This was not Drake's night as far as the fight goes. Like, it just wasn't. Drake is now 0-2. Or he's lost 2 consecutive. Excuse me. Because he's 1-1. Do we not remember that Say Scheming verse? You see what I mean?
And I want to say, in regards to that Stay Scheming verse, like, long after the beef was over, we see Common and Drake at the basketball game shaking hands.
And everything was cool.
You know right?
That's not how this is going to happen this time.
Nah, like the stakes are raised.
Chris shook hands with Drake or anything like that. Like,
remember, Jay Prince had to intervene.
Huh?
Jay Prince had to intervene on Drake's behalf twice.
Well, Jay Prince intervened on Drake's behalf for Pusha.
And for the Kanye shit.
Top Dog made the statement that, all right, we're done here. At which Kendrick was like, I'm not. And just in case I dare him. I double dog dare him because I take the hard part 6 as waving the white flag too. This is why Kendrick hasn't responded. The hard part 6 was a lackadaisical effort to respond to Kendrick blowing his ass out the water.
It's condescension at the back. It's condescension.
While still trying to get the crowd behind him. Like, did I get him or what? Nah, bro, you didn't. So then by the end of the song, you pretty much like, you're just so burnt. Like, go ahead, get your other 10 songs off, and
well, like, let me go on vacation.
Nah, nigga. Because if I do put these 10 songs off, they are going to raid you. That's what I mean. Because here's the thing: from a legal standpoint, Kendrick hasn't said allegedly in any of these allegations. So Drake is sued for defamation of character. Drake has not done so. Drake has instead did exactly what Kendrick said he was going to do and vacation out in Turks. The jokes are writing itself at this point. But neither here nor there. Let's move on.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
It's just that like
I'm still on. I'm just well, you know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing. I want to say a couple things. First things first, like one of my homies at work, like I made him a playlist, and like at the beginning of this, like he was riding for Aubrey, But and like I named the playlist OVOJ because I'm like, I know you like Drake, whatever. Haha, but make a little tee about it. After this beef, like my man's like, hey man, can you change the name of that playlist? I'm like, I got you, bro. Like, I don't want like, because I know like he wants to like host an R&B party with me. Like he wants like, oh, I want you to curate some of the songs. Oh,
Right.
and he's just like, all right, I'm gonna change the name because like this is just like saying you were a fan of this man is just like it's bad for you. It has like it's how I felt in 2019 again when Ye put on the red hat and people was like, ooh, what's going on with your boy? And I'm like, that's not my guy, and don't talk to me so casually. That's not happening. I'm gonna remove myself from like being known as like a Ye apologist and like saying, oh, but he gave us drop, held his dropout. That shit doesn't matter. All the good times that I may have had with like listening to like I don't know One Dance or Controlla, it's like no mas. I think about all the people
Bottom
who
line
like
on Kanye is that Kanye has a mental illness. He knows it. He refuses to take medication for it. Therefore, all of his diatribes and shit like that, we're not going to put it on the fact that he's a genius, as you all say. The motherfucker is crazy, and he chooses not to do something about that. So at this point, all the Kanye fandom and standum is just enabling his mental illness. So you're basically like rooting a homeless person on the street to yell at random passerbys.
Side note to the side note. Fuck you, Ty Dolla Sign. You know what you've done, and you know who you are. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That was fucking weird.
Allegedly, just like to be a whole artist to say I'm gonna work with this man on a new project, and then like the album cover leaks of just like him, like the album cover being like a hate symbol, and it's just like, how do you not just like walk away right then and there? Because like I think of all like the Ty Dolla Sign songs that I like, of the collabs he's done, and I'm just like, bro, I can't listen to any of this shit because like, what the fuck are we doing? I remember when him and Kendrick made a song together with Brandy, and I'm like, this song is hot. I can't listen to that shit no more, man. Fuck that shit. One last final thing I want to say, because LA brought it up earlier. Like, I want Meg to get the flowers that she deserves for this, like, her diss on like Hiss. That was the shot heard around the world. Yes, Nicki got herself into the mix with that one specific bar on the song, but most of the shit that she said in that song was directed at Mr. Graham. And I want to make sure that I acknowledge that in a streaming capacity, because like, she just dropped a new single. All the anime girlies are up. All the black anime girlies, they're up right now. Shout out to Boa. Shout out to Miss Stallion. Handle that situation with the guy who's trying to sue you. But we moving. After an hour and 8 minutes, we have come to like the reason why we got together in the first place. Los, Haystack West, my man, Mr. Crawford, he took 4 of his favorite songs of all time and said, here, nigga, listen to this shit. And I took my little notes. Now we're going to discuss it. We're going to take it from top to bottom. Here to say...
I want to give you a quick disclaimer.
Please, please, please.
The Mac Miller selection.
Uh-huh.
It's not my favorite song.
That's fine.
Matter of fact, that was initially what was on the list. If you recall,
there was a temporary list, as I recall. I remember.
That's my favorite song of all time, like ever. Like,
bar none. That's fucking sick.
Bar none, like undisputedly, that's my number 1 favorite song of all time. I love that song so much, and I play it every day. And I'm so happy he gave me that before he passed. So happy. Nonetheless, this one in particular, holy fuck, it's such a fun song.
Hey,
I couldn't resist.
So, episode 12's track list is as follows. We have September 24th, 7000 by Action Bronson and Rick Ross. We have Crowns for Kings by Benny the Butcher and Black Thought. We have Better Off by Quadron and Kendrick Lamar, and Aliens Fighting Robots by Mac Miller and Sir Michael Rocks of the Cool Kids. I want to start with Action Bronson and Ross. And for the record, just a quick spoiler for you, Los. Nothing here is getting anything less than a 7.
That's a bet. I can live
okay.
with
And so like to start, like this 7,000 track is a 7. I want to like let you know right away. Now
Okay.
let's get into the meat of the song here. We have it's me, Bronsolino himself, Action Bronson, chef, wrestler, rapper, TV star, comedian. Like when it comes to
professional
this, like,
olive oil taster.
like I think about Action Bronson and
Actor.
I smile and I laugh because like this is a man filled with such joy of like he's like the spice of life. He is the white people, like he is the white ghost face killer. Allegedly. We're not bringing that up again.
We try not to make that comparison these days
anymore because like I don't want a video of like that man like dissing me to my face in my life.
But
no disrespect to Tony, to Big Tone, or anyone in the Woo.
Even
but,
Ghost
like,
thought it was him at one point. He was like, "Wait,
did
I say this shit?"
But again, did I ever tell you the time I went to go see Action Bronson perform?
Nah.
My good friend Zach was in my city, and like he brought the squad. And he's like, "Bro, we're gonna go see Action Bronson," but my girl couldn't come. You want the ticket? And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So I bought the ticket off Shorty, and like we went to the show. There was just a lot of smoke in the air, and lots of dude bros, like just like white boys in like their undershirts. And like two things happened that I thought were so funny. 3 things I'll say. Like one, like a dude bro trying to get Action to sign a bottle of sauce that he brought with him. Like, yo, Bronson, sign my sauce. And I'm like, this man's fucking bro, if you don't sit down. Like one guy gave Bronson like a bowl, like he made a clay bowl out of the album cover for Only for Dolphins. And Bronson's like, look at this beautiful bowl. And everyone went ape shit, like, yeah. And like this is like when I first seen Bronson, like after like his big workout transformation. And you know, the song's like, I'm gonna fuck these hoes, but I can't touch my toes. And he's like, I can finally touch my toes. And everyone's like, yeah. Just full of life. Like he was getting like wrestler pops. Like he like just like the vibiest white rapper to ever pick up the mic. Like I loved his TV show when he was still on Vice, where he was like there was like a band playing and like he was cooking food with famous people. Like there was an episode of the show where he brought Big Frida and like that one Italian dude that goes bam, like the ones who like sells like those like,
Emerald Lagasse.
Yeah, he brought him on and he was hitting on Big Frida the whole time they were on set. Just glazing her. And I'm like, man, the aura that she has. And she brought all her twerkers and they were like throwing ass in the kitchen while people were making food. I'm like,
oh my.
And she was just like doing like the shit that she does best.
Fuck That's Delicious is now back on YouTube.
Yes, like that show I love so much because it's just like a man just like hitting every kitchen on the face of the earth, working out and eating delicious things. I'm like, bro, like, what a vibey fucking guy.
He's Anthony Bourdain with hijinks.
And rest in peace to that man. Rest in peace to that man, Anthony Bourdain. But agree, just like it's like again, Aubrey, pay attention. All you gotta be is yourself, and the waves will come. Because like I like even if I never heard this song, because I heard the song in the past, way 1,000 years back when this song even fucking came out. But it's just like the legacy that Bronson brings with like the mixtapes, just like the rappers he's around, like he sounds great on any fucking beat, and he brought la musica, la harifrod to like the streets, bro. Like, and yo, literally. Shout out to my dog Big Body Bess, just sounding menacing on the beat for no reason. I'm pretty sure this guy wasn't even in the streets, but he would just sound.
Bess be talking shit. He be talking this shit though.
His fucking body.
Fuck her till she hates me. You gotta stab me if you love me. I was like, what?
It's me. A quick shout out again to the guy on like the outro one. What's that brother's name? China Crisis. With like the sample of strength of character. Why are we letting these things in the outside of our physical penetrate our soul, penetrate the neutral wiring system, our cerebral cortex? I'm like, what the fuck is this brother talking about, man? Man.
There's a high thought. Let's see. Good spit. Now, all right.
Hey.
So my note on it is that this song in particular is a part of a series that's a
Blue
mainstay
Chips.
in the Blue Chip series.
This is the third installment, as I recall.
Exactly. First installment was Blue Chips 1, 9/24/11, at which it gave you, you know, like a little like what's the, you know, it's not like a Italian opera, not Italian opera, but it had a kick to that with like a New York flow. And he's just destroying shit, but like he's also fucking up, but he's just letting it run. He's just having fun with it. And that became the like
party supplies.
That basically became the like vibe, or you know, the basis of this song, of this date track in particular. So we get to 9/24/13 on Blue Chips 2, which is more of a is a lot more fun, is a lot more, you know, airy and fun. And he getting this shit off again. He's fucking up every so often, and then he'll just run back the line. He pretty much implied that he forced Patrick Ewing to throw the Eastern Conference semifinals in 1995.
He wasn't even alive then. Shut the hell up, bro.
Kept fucking up the line. So he goes, I told the driver, let him swing me by the garden. I got to talk to Pat. Hit him with stacks. Showed him the gap. Like, you're going to miss that finger roll, right? Yes, Mr. Baklava. Then I cartwheeled in the aqua. And then he busts out laughing at the audacity of the line itself. But then he runs it back. But then, like, he fucked up again. He goes, all right. This is it. So finally, he get the line off. And it's a fun song.
I'm just looking at like the fourth verse is just Big Body Vest. and
that like... Big Body Vest, he's talking shit on both back ends of this, on the back ends of both of his songs. Like, he's just getting his shit off. Your man said in 98 doing stickos with the screwdriver. I said, what?
Bro, chill, Don Callis.
I said, I'm sorry. He out here wilding, dog.
Bro, like, I'm just looking through these lyrics, man. You got actors saying, smoking fucking Thanksgiving turkey bags, man. I'm
saying.
Smoking that Barbara Walters wax.
And that's the fun aspect of hip hop that I enjoy. Like, a motherfucker that can rap about virtually any and everything that he's about. Like, your man can rap about
he's
anything.
Like Dr. Seuss, no disrespect.
Your man can rap about anything from ranging from, you know,
salami with the pastrami,
you know, chicks and money and shit like that, to food, ranging from fucking action movie scene to him just, you know, being a regular guy going around and eating stuff. Like, it could be
motherfuck the rest.
It could be sophomoric. It could be, you know, mischievous at times. But, you know, like, he's going to give you, like, funny lines every so often. Like, there's one song, Chop, 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 which is also on Blue Chip 7000, actually, where he goes, man, the blunt burned for longer than the whole Badu concert. Erykah Badu concert.
It's just long.
And when I was walking back to the whip and still had a fat clip, I threw it on the floor and said shit. Pretty much saying that, like, either burnt his hand and he dropped it, or he just like accidentally outright dropped it. And he goes, the whole ride back, I ain't say shit. See, he just panned in his motherfucking bras and driving back home, back to the house mad as shit. Like, that's what he's going to give you. He's going to give you lines where, like, you know, you can imagine the shit and you're either going to be like, damn, this shit's dope as fuck, or you're just going to laugh. And that's what I love about Action Bronson. Then you got the coolness of Ross in that verse, in that second
that's
verse.
what I was gonna say. Like, the only things I really have against this track in regards to just like, like how we were talking off cam about how sometimes shit doesn't age well. You got like the line where like Action says, "Only compare me to Kevin Spacey," and I'm like, damn.
I like to think that's why he paused.
And they said, or Ruben Blades, and so like you saved yourself there.
Ruben Blades, the blunt fat like 2 Kamalas. The butt fatter than 2 Kamala that you got in Giants, dog. Dog, that's a huge blunt. That's a doink right there.
Not the doinks. Not the doinks.
You know what I mean?
And like I said, kind of earlier, how I was kind of alluding how like when it comes to like beef, like the first thing like opponents like throw at one another is like for lack of a better term, the bitches. And like there's one word that Rick Ross loves to say. He loves to say bitch. And I'm just again to be on my soapbox, it's like we don't have to be this way if we really want to like, because I remember when Ross was in trouble and they're like, do you have anything to say for yourself? And he's like, oh, I apologize to our black queens. And like I hate to say it, like Officer Ricky, like it doesn't really mean much. It doesn't really mean much anymore when you do shit like this. And what I noticed after like I've been not hearing this song for a long time because this song came out like fucking 2017. Is like the thing about Rick Ross, he sounds great on any beat. And like when people, I'm like, and like LA knows that like when we sort of started our series together, when we were talking about like music that was neglected in 2012, Estelle had a song with Rick Ross, and he sounded great on that beat. And I'm just like, I never knew this song came out, which was a whole other conversation in regards to like Estelle not getting her flowers. But it's not hard to make him sound good on some production.
But that's the thing about 924-7000. Once that beat, you know it's a Maybach music production.
Again, and like this because I love this.
Rick Ross didn't even have to be on the song, for real.
Again, like that music, how do you feel it? Like that, bro. He's a really. I love a producer that knows what the fuck he's doing.
He has a vision, and the vision is music that you can literally ride around late nights to, and feel like you're on top of the world.
Let me fuck around and go get my wetsuit.
You know what I'm saying? That's the music. That's the type of sound Rick Ross has, and I respect the vision because I like that type of music at times. So yeah.
Smooth 7, like we're off to a good start. Like
okay.
I'm getting to know you, and like this is the love that I already like know and love. So I'm like I should expect like this level of care in the music that he enjoys. Moving right along to our 8 out of 10 track. It is I had to think long and hard about this. It's Aliens versus Robots is my 8 out of 10 with Mac and Michael Rocks.
Man, that's a 10 out of 10 to me, bro. I don't care what anyone says. But I understand the 8.
And like I want to say it's just like I think about the legacy of Mac Miller aside from you, because I know you're like his number one fan, if I'm being honest with you here. And like I knew a white boy rapper in radio school. Shout out Mikey, you know who you are. Album review on the way. It's just like I think about it like because I look at like this track list from Macadelic. There are so many stars here. And like here's the thing, right? You get a rapper like Mac Miller, and like you give him like Knock Knock and Donald Trump and like other shit like Party on 6th Ave. You get like
Blue Slide Park.
It's
however,
like I'm saying that though. I'm only saying that though because like you do some shit like that, you could go in a G-Eazy direction, and we don't respect you for real. And I know G-Eazy is good in the Bay. You could go into like an MGK direction, and I know you're good in Cleveland, but like the game doesn't respect you, point blank, period. Yes. But the game respects Mac Miller because he took all that money and he's like, I'm gonna be me. Oh, these motherfuckers don't like me. He's like Michael Jordan. I took offense to that, and just gets into his bag. It's like, motherfucker, I am a good rapper. and I'm gonna be my fucking self when I get on this mic. And he commands the respect of his peers because name one white rapper besides like Aesop Rock that's gonna get the cool kids on a song, besides like LP or Atmosphere, or like say Brother Ali. This motherfucker is respected in his craft and by his peers.
And that's why I love Mac so much, because everyone else loved Mac. Like, Mac was one of those white kids that didn't bother anybody. He would rather like work with you instead of against you. Then not only that, he was a kid that was always up for experimentation as far as the range in hip hop goes. This is why Blue Slide Park had to be panned. Because like you said, if Blue Slide Park wasn't panned and received positive reviews, he could have wound up like G-Eazy. He could have wound up like MGK. He could have wound up like
Eminem to a point.
What's cuz name? Bless. You remember Bless?
No.
Exactly. So he could have wound up like that. However, they panned Blue Slide Park for being, the frat boy rap album, and it's like that was kind of his gimmick in the first place. Like, y'all kind of didn't get this, but Mac saw that and was like, I take this personally. And that's when he really started like experimenting with his music. That's how we got Macadelic. There'd be no Macadelic and On if he didn't get panned for Blue Slide Park.
Yo, and like we said earlier in the stream, Kendrick called out a lot of rappers on Control.
Mac
of which
being one of them.
Mac. And like we said, Push responding to that is why we got Nostalgia. And I imagine because of that, Mac is on the phone, gets Top on the phone, and is like, can I please have Kendrick on a track? Because like Kendrick is on this tape, Juicy J, fucking Casey Veggies from Odd Future, Joey Badass, Cameron.
That's the one thing I love about Macadelic. This was a album co-starring with a range of co-stars, and still managed to be an album with not too many like features on tracks. You know what I'm saying? It was a perfect balance.
Definitely a 2012 mixtape
solo
for
Mac
sure.
Miller songs and Mac Miller featuring songs. It was a perfect mix. So it's like, aliens fighting robots. That beat is just absolutely so much fun to me. That's one of the most fun beats I've ever heard in my entire life. Thank you, Brandon Deshay, because that's super.
Bro, again, Odd Future, an Odd Future like affiliate from
Brandon Deshay should have had a career in this shit.
Yeah, if he didn't get buried by Tyler, he'd still be out here today.
That beat is absolutely perfect. And then not only is that beat absolutely that beat sounds like a very fun, flowing episode of Crashbox. You remember Crashbox?
No, I don't think I ever saw that.
Crashbox is a show on HBO. It was like mostly stop animation. They had like claymation.
Cool.
And like it was like a trippy ass show. I don't even know what it was about. It was just trippy as fuck. But that's the type of spirit this song had. And beat, you know what I'm saying? Then Mac just goes on a fucking clinic, pretty much. A nice little fun walk around the park on his verse.
I feel like
hey,
I'm back in
Mikey,
college listening to
you want
this
a piece
shit.
of this? Hey, go ahead and take it away, Mikey. And then Mikey goes in. So then they just going kind of like, trading bridges, falling down the same rabbit hole looking for love. They and then Matt comes in and it don't stop till the aliens fight the robots, and then you bring it home with the fun little tune of a song to bring it home. I'm so high, what you think about that? I like to do the John Wall to that.
LA, I don't know if you're still in the chat. I know we got one listener with us right now live. LA loves this one duo from Australia called the Avalanches. They practice what's called plunder phonics. They sample a fuck ton of shit in their music, and Brandon Deshay samples them. And so I think that's just so fucking cool because, like, like the art of sampling is very fucking hip hop, and the Avalanches, they just did some shit that I don't think much other people were doing besides maybe like fucking Doom, Dilla, and Nujabes in regards to just like picking out the most obscure ass fucking samples. So like I appreciate that little detail that I didn't notice. And I knew when I heard the song both times, well, yesterday and today, like when you hear the bridge, I'm like, oh, like the beat is changing, but then it goes right back to what it was. And not a lot of songs do that today. And I really like that.
And that's the fun thing about that beat. Does it change? Kinda, not really. It just he just drops a couple of instrumentals, and that just feels like an entirely different beat.
Yeah, it's like Lens painting with the sound.
And all you can get for that little part is just Matt going, as if he's trying to figure out what he's about to do or say next to bring this shit home.
Yeah.
That song, I love that. That song is so much fun.
Yes, it's true.
Up to Swimming, that was my favorite song. Until Swimming gave me What's the Use, in which What's the Use almost made it on the list because it's literally my favorite song of all time. That Acid Jazz is just. Then
Mac,
Snoop
we love
Dogg.
you, we miss you. That's all I gotta say about that, man. Like, thank you for what you've done, and like we won't take what you've done. We won't take it for granted going forward. And moving forward into track number 3, our number 9 on the list, 9 out of 10. It's Crown for Kings with Black Thought and Benny the Butcher of Griselda. You already know what fucking time it is. Real hip hop, hip hop, hip
hop. Clinic.
You know Let me say something, bro. I was the first time, like, because you played this song before. Like, we were talking casually in the chat, like much like this one. You mentioned the song to me. I mean, the first thing I thought of, I'm like, this is one of the best rappers of all time, Benny the Butcher, with arguably the best rapper of all time, Black Thought. Like, if Kendrick wasn't, if Kendrick, Kendrick retired, let's keep it a buck, and like Black Thought has a day job on late night television. But I like when I listened to the song for the second time, the first, the algorithm tries to stretch you shit in like the related tab. The first video I see is that legendary ass freestyle from 6 years ago on Funk Flex that now has 18 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there are 10 good rappers on the planet Earth, Black Thought is one of those rappers. That motherfucker is going to get busy.
Yep.
And I always say there's a rapper for every person on the face of the earth. And so when I hear all heads say like when Quest, like Black Thought's one of best friends is saying, oh, hip hop is dead because of this Kendrick Drake shit. Like, no, bro. OG, respectfully, you like when old heads say shit like that, you're letting the genre die. And like brothers like Benny and his squad, they're keeping that shit alive.
Very much alive. I understand that this beef was supposed to start putting rappers on notice. Hey man, start spitting again. This
get back to the pen and pad. Get back to work.
This gimmick shit is obsolete.
Hang on a second, y'all. We gotta get a little spat.
The point that, hey man, this that Drake flow, that shit is.
He stole that shit from Fontigolo.
It's not it, Chief. It just isn't. All right.
This is where
it's won me a Pulitzer Prize winner. You know what I'm saying? Like this is real rapping. This is grown man rapping.
Grown man rapping.
Y'all ain't trying to hear that shit. Y'all ain't trying to hear grown man rap. That's on y'all again. You know what I'm saying? But that is actually rap. What Drake is doing is just Drake is just really good at rhyming on beat.
Okay.
Nowadays, not so much. Like he's pretty much feeding the monster that is his audience. So the fact of the matter that this beef happened and these Drake fans are just delusional as to whether or not Drake won or lost. It's like at this point, only a certain amount of people are going to learn the lesson here, and hopefully, we can only hope. We only hope that your Playboy Cardis and your Dirks and so on and so forth, your little babies, they act accordingly and pretty much get off this whack shit and actually enunciate as as one of the grades in the rap report card. This is why we need to bring back the rap report card, because they're the intangibles that you're being graded on that I don't think these kids understand are what you need to be considered a good rapper.
I do not agree. It don't like I sincerely just think it depends on what you're being fed and things of that nature. Cause like, yeah, we have like the Lils still like making most of the money. But then I think about a rapper named Red Veil, who's like not even 21 years old yet, and like is just like making really good shit. He's from the DMV, like he's a producer, like he's like a rapper, like a real fucking spitter. And like Macklemore, one of the few rappers who has something to say about like current events and like is standing 10 toes down in it because like he knows like history will reflect well on like taking a stand and things of that nature. I wanted to mention when you brought up all like the mainstream guys, I think about like Young Thug's buddy Gunna, who recently had he was his stock was rising once it was revealed that he was not a snitch by like his peers, and like he put like that "fuck you mean" record and shit like that. He just released a new tape, and one of my favorite reviewers, Spectrum Pulse, he gave it like a short review, not even like a full review. He's like he said with the release that I'm gonna look it up real quick because I think it's really important that I mention this because I know like you're very frustrated with like the current crop of like popular dudes in the industry.
Because Bigo's fathered the today's rappers.
So like last year, Gunna put out A Gift and a Curse, and people really liked that release. And I was kind of like dry on Gunna when he put out DS Forever in 2022 because that's the record with like Pushin P and shit like that. And I thought that was like I didn't really understand the wave. But One of One came out this year. It's 20 songs deep, and like Spectrum Pulse was like, "Yo, Gunna is getting lazy, and like he's doing the shit that like I know him to already do, and I'm not interested in that. So why would I listen to like an hour of 20 minutes of 20 songs of the same old shit?" Like he says, like there are like little glimpses of that I think are interesting, but they are like in the minority in regards to like all this content. And like I think that if the OGs are like just like if there's to be anything we do in this industry, I think it's like we need to go back to the time of like 10 songs on an album and like really just like filling up the space with those 10 songs. Like I with mixtape content, I don't give a fuck. Like do whatever the fuck you want. It's your music anyway. But if you're gonna sell me something, like if I'm gonna get like because I see 20 songs on an album and like I like recoil. That kind of like grosses me out. I'm like, I don't have like I'm just as bad as these Zoomers in Generation Alpha. I have a very limited attention span. So like, and especially if like in the past I've been really I don't really like Gunna, to be honest with you. Like he just happens to like have approximation to Thug, who's actually interesting because you don't know what the fuck that motherfucker's gonna do. But like I still think Gunna has just like I don't think the hype around Gunna is justified, but I'm old now. I'm in my 30s. He's not making music for me, and that's okay. But you can't like no one like again like I want to be fair, but like in no way could you say Gunna is in like the top 100 best rappers of all time. Like I would put and no, I was gonna say something really rude, but I'm not gonna say that. But I will. Before we go to our last song, I want to say something. You have something?
I'll put it to you like this, right? If you rap like you're trying to get numerous syllables into like just one bar, like blah 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 blah, guess the fuck what? You're essentially copying the style that these three kids from Atlanta came up and mastered and perfected. I remember a time where the Migos could have their flow. Meanwhile, you heard, the Drake flow, and which is a little slower than the Migo flow, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the Fontigolo flow.
But you also could hear, a plethora of unique styles and flows.
Remember the One Train song with all those rappers on it?
Huh?
Remember One Train by ASAP Rocky? And he had like 8 fucking dudes on that one song. And it's like, we got the
and
South,
it felt like
we got the Midwest,
4 or 5 different
we got
songs
LA.
because everybody had a different style to one beat. And that's and you know who was second verse in that song?
Dot.
Fucking
shit, dog.
And Dot completely changed. Like ASAP Rocky leads the entire train, right? And you know how ASAP Rocky has his style, and that's a fun style in itself. Yeah. But then Kendrick comes in and he brings his style, and it's just like business picks up at that point because everybody afterwards got to kind of keep up with them or make a pace to where it leads to the next person. They can go at their own pace. So like you get to a point where like Joey Badass come in and he kill it. Yellow Wolf come in, he destroys it in his own way, but he speeds things up. Bronson comes in and slows things back down, and then Crit just like anchors this shit.
The closer.
It was a masterclass of a posse rap song or a supercut rap song. You know what I'm saying? We don't get shit like that anymore because everybody uses the same fucking flow.
I was gonna say something actually. It's like, these days, and like JID, respect to Jid, he brought up the fact that like he's like, yo, bring the bridge back to hip hop. And I'm like, yeah, I'm super into that. And like here with Crowns for Kings, you essentially only have 2 verses, but they're nice long verses.
They put on a clinic for like a good like 2.5 a minute and a half each. And it's like you get the beginning, the opening where pretty much Benny sends the message, every king will be crowned, trust me. And then that boom boom boom, and he just goes on a clinic for about a good 32 bars. And then you get, horns to go with this. Look what you done for me sample. If you watched the last episode, that's the sample song.
I had no fucking idea, by the way. It completely took me all by surprise. I'm like, oh man! Shout out to DJ Shay. Shout out to DJ Shay for that shit.
So you know what part look they flipped for me. So they put the horns in for that. What essentially is just like the refrain from "Look What You Done For Me." Not even like the
like pass the peas over to Black Thought real quick.
If you go to "Look What You Done For Me," ooh, they kind of like slowed it down slightly and brought the like pitch down a little bit. So ooh, da-da-da-da. And just over and over again until you get to like the end of the loop. Ooh, usually at that point, Al Green will come back in, but in this instance, it just circles back, baby, for 5 minutes long.
Yeah, listen, like I know Cole got like that 7-minute drill. It's like I couldn't see like a new school guy like a Gunna or something like that go for 5 minutes all by themselves. And it's just, you know, it's just like, you know, both these guys have been alive for a long time. They've been rapping for a long time. They still have things to say. It's like I think about West Side Gun or who's the other guy in Griselda that I like so much? Hey yo, who is that?
That's West.
That's West?
That's West Side Gun. West Side Gun. Hey yo.
Who am I thinking of?
He's the mastermind of the three.
Who's the other fellow that I'm thinking of in Griselda?
That's his brother, Conway the Machine.
Conway, the one with, if anybody tell that I'm stressed.
Talk to him. Yeah. And that's the dynamic I love about those three. Because where West Side Gun, he like, you know, is if this was a stable, West Side Gun would be the mouthpiece of the group. Right?
I love the way he raps that
like he talked first, he barked first and in the beat, so on and so forth. He get his shit at first. He has a commanding presence.
Boom, boom, boom.
Benny is the showman. He actually, you know, will give you lines that are clever, but you can also, you know, imagine as well. He gives you a clear, vivid picture, and so at times it's comical. At times you are imagining him doing exactly what he's talking about, usually flipping bricks or traveling with bricks.
Allegedly.
Conway is the lyricist of the group. That motherfucker can spit his ass off.
You know, I only listen to one of his albums because there's a guy on YouTube known as the Rap Critic. And he has a podcast where he and his buddy, they review albums. Like people will pay them $50 and they'll review an album. And they review one of Conway's records. And the way that like Darren was like RC was talking about the album, like, yo, I have to fucking hear this shit. Like I gotta like stop what I'm doing, listen to this entire album, start to finish, because it's just like he was really just like, wow, like this motherfucker can rap. And you know, like he's the fucking rap critic, so he should know if a motherfucker can rap. And I'm like, well, I gotta hear it. And like, cause you know, I know you love like Griselda, and like a lot of motherfuckers I know love Griselda, but it's like just to hear a person just like put over that album, I'm like, I gotta hear this shit. And I'm so glad that I did, because I was entertained, and I'm just like listening to the words, because like he's one of those rappers where like, yeah, he's gonna pick like good beats, but it's like he is a lyricist,
a wordsmith. You know?
And I think about that lock. Load, lock. I'm like,
that motherfucker could take, you know,
look at the baking powder real quick.
He can get a point across in ways that like is not only roundabout in a sense, but also like it's roundabout because it drives the point home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
I do.
It's a very fascinating style of him getting these bars off. Like just what he says, how he says it, things like that. They have an affiliate though. Like you know how Griselda they got.
You know, Stove God Cooks.
You already knew I was going. And Stove God raps like he already established and mastered his style, and now he's just fucking completely bored with it.
Oh, he used a new flow because he's like, I've already used this shit.
He's just real pompous about it. Like he's already told you
the MJF of hip hop.
He is the brick cooking master champion,
allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it's allegedly. Like
my client is innocent. He's talking about actual food when he's on the stove.
Right. Thanks. So yeah, so he pretty much like raps like that. Like he has one song with Conway's recent album that just came out, Slam Face Killer. He pretty much like was set. He goes, he was like, first in Jackson 5 breakup. Man, sometimes motherfuckers break up. and then at least to a line about how a brick breaks up. Like breaks down pretty much, right?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So then he keeps going or whatever, and like once he gets to a line where you pretty much know where he's going with it, like to end a rhyme or whatever, instead of like it just saying the word and finishing the line, he'll just go like you already know where I'm going with this.
I'm out of here, man.
But so then he goes on or whatever. Then he pretty much like is showing off. He's like, he's like, I breathe money. I piss, blah blah blah, and like he get one line and then he just stop. He goes, man, what's the hypothetical breakdown? So then once he goes, what's the hypothetical breakdown? This motherfucker gives you an entire scenario of like just numbers as far as selling this product goes. And then, what the, total is going to be for this, what the total is going to be for that. If you break it down to this, well, what if you, take this amount, give it to the homie for him to sell, but he fucked up his money. So now you got to, reimburse that amount of money. So then you do it by doing that. So then he pretty much like pauses. He pretty much finishes that like, whole analysis by pretty much saying, if that's how you're going to do it, then that's probably how you should do it.
Wait, I just want to say, so we can move on to the last song. In the words of Mr. Duckworth, go figure, motherfucker, every line is a brick.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which leads us to the 10 out of 10. I'm talking about that quadron. I'm talking about, man, listen, like, in the words of Max Caston, listen! Like, I'm sorry, like, if I put this song on, I'm gonna have you looking like, who's my man from AEW hit the
Danny Garcia.
I'm gonna have you in that Danny Garcia, babes. I'm just saying, I put this song on, man, like, turn the lights out, babe. Like, look, man. First of all, let me tell you all about Quadron. Let me tell you about my homies from Copenhagen, my homies from Denmark. Let me tell you about Robin and Coco.
Real quick, real fucking quick.
Yeah.
That the Connecticut Sun and Indiana Fever game just wrapped up. Nothing notable about Caitlin Clark. However, Alyssa Thomas just recorded her 9th career triple-double tonight. Also,
Ballers ball.
her wife, her teammates.
Man.
I think that's neat. I think that's so dope.
Man, that must be nice. Must be nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like you share a hotel room, you ain't gotta worry about those expenses. Y'all practice often, y'all train together. It's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love the game. We love to see it. Like that's the love language, the game. Like that's dope.
That's fucking beautiful. Hey, y'all, we're gonna try and finish up in the next 15 minutes. Please support this season of the WNBA. I know we get on here talking about wrestling and all that other cool shit. If you do anything at all this year, if you don't like listen to any of the songs, if you don't give Los any money, if you don't support any like the mutual aid or like social justice shit that I post in the subscription, please watch the WNBA this year. Look at my homie's face. You should see what he's saying.
The final score, it was 71-92 Connecticut.
Ugh.
Yeah, welcome to the NBA, Caitlin. WNBA.
It's time, baby.
All right, so yeah, Quadrant.
Listen, I want to say something about Robin and Coco. So first of all, like I live on Wikipedia, and like I put this song on, and I'm like, yo, somehow this song is better than I imagined. You know, like straight up, it's like this is the kind of R&B I like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and like, exactly. And this is clearly a motherfucker, like, because clearly Robin is a person who studied like the holy R&B texts of yesteryear. And like, if you click on Robin Hannibal's name on Wikipedia, you see his long ass he's produced for a lot of fucking people in his career. And I believe the reason we got Kendrick on this song is because like Robin got like a co-writer credit on one of Kendrick's records, which I think is so fucking cool. That like, yeah, because like Schoolboy Q and Danny Brown have like gone into detail about why they hate like clearing samples I imagine it's really great when like you have the clear sample with the dude and it's like, yo, can we get a verse from you? Like, quiet as kept. He's like, for sure. You know what I mean?
You want to even cooler part? Quadrant's Avalanche A is probably one of my top 10 favorite albums.
Yeah,
I love that. It's such a beautiful album from start
I
to
say
finish.
it's perfect. It's certified gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Kendrick Lamar is the only feature in that entire album.
Come on, bro. Ali on the boards, bro. Come on, man.
And the best part about it, right? Like, cause you know how like you get features and songs, and you wonder what are they doing in that song? What are they doing in this album? Nah, Kendrick Lamar being on that album was the perfect choice. If you only wanted one feature in that entire album, and somebody said Kendrick Lamar, initially you'll probably be like, what? No, that's crazy. Give me somebody else. Nah, Kendrick shows you, hey, nah, you made the right choice here. Like, beautiful verse. Yeah.
Hey, and it's first of all, hey, thanks for jumping in. We appreciate you. Settlesmile.com for all the best. Yo, V, I'm wearing the pants right now. The conclusion of like the Subtle Madness competition came to a close. I won. I got a pair of pants for like $45. So again, I'm wearing some comfy ass sweatpants. The best home for music, fashion, and fine art is on subtlesmile.com. I'll drop a link to the website when the stream goes up on YouTube after the fact. Shout out to V. Yo, real shit. I am cozy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wearing some jeans, right?
Cozy girl. Cozy them.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, I wanted to point out real quick, like, it's funny, like, people who love Drake were like, oh, like, Kendrick is being racist because he's talking about how he's biracial. Do you know what quadron means in Danish? It's like the name of the group is because both the members in the group are biracial. Because I believe Coco, her dad is from Tasmania and shit like that.
Oh my!
And according to Wikipedia, like her granddad was a jazz musician. So this whole quadron like duo makes a lot of fucking sense when you consider like the history and music that like she likes. She's like, oh, I love Lauryn Hill. I love Bill Withers, and it's like, girl, we can tell.
Well, there it goes. I got a crush on Coco all over again.
Hey, bro, and like not for nothing, because like Quadron broke up, but like Coco O just put out her first album only 3 years ago. So like go get online and listen to It's a Process.
Not a bad album.
Like, come back to the States, Coco. We need you, bruh. Like we like not to be nothing. Like Coco O walked so Yeba could run, and I will put my life on that.
Coco O is featured in probably one of my favorite like one-off songs, and it's a song called Sleep, and it's by this band called Home Base NYC, and she just sings while they play. And man, oh man, that song goes crazy. I strongly encourage y'all to get hip to that song. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, you can't even find that shit on
you can't find that shit nowhere but YouTube. I tried.
Listen, bro, like I'm trying to let people know that like as Spotify continues to make just like shittier decisions for like their user base and for like the musicians they serve, like with YouTube Music like outsourcing and laying off their employees, like to say nothing about Apple Music or Tidal, we gotta go back to physical media, bro. Cassettes, CDs, vinyl. We gotta get more DIY with the shit because like we're losing recipes. Like It makes me so sad when like a song that I've loved, I've been heard in a long time, as I'm going through like playlists that I've made over the years, like, oh shit, I love this song. Like there's a band in New Jersey I really want to interview. They're from they're called With Sales Ahead, and they're on tour right now. And that, like, I follow them on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, we got in the van. We're going to go to the next show." And one of the band members puts on an album that, like, I listened to all the time in 2011. The band is gone. They had to change their name due to like a lawsuit they faced. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe like someone that I respect also likes this obscure ass post-hardcore album. I'm like, my goal. I'm gonna snitch on myself. I'm gonna like buy everyone some vinyl because, like, you know, Nardwuar brings gifts to people. I'm Nardwuar's number 1 disciple. I'm like, oh, I have a gift for you. We have to get it because you're a sales ahead. Like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do maybe like 10 questions. So everyone gets 2 questions. I'm gonna try and take them to their favorite restaurant in the area. We're gonna put over the local eatery. Like, it's gonna be a grand affair. They don't even know that I'm doing this yet. I'm just like, I really want to like do that shit. So like, no Nardwuar can retire knowing that I can carry the crown. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just like this is the joy that this like Better Off record gives me. And like Kendrick, he comes in, and this is when like, you know, like Kendrick like was very clear about the issues he was facing in Mr. Morale in regards to like how addicted to like the carnal he was. And like this verse kind of takes you back to the How Many Drinks remix he did with Miguel. Like,
I put it to you like this, right? And here's my note on it. This song is basically the Avalanche as an album is pretty much about Coco essentially landing in a relationship, and then, you know, the ups and downs of the relationship. Better Off is pretty much, you know, the breakup song, and where she's saying that, you know, like, you know, I am crazy over you, but you're no good for me. You're just no good for me. Kendrick is the guy's perspective, and he's pretty much baby dog going her, but instead of the direct angle of please don't go, he's serenading her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're overreacting. Like, you know, just stay with me. You know, like you're making a big deal out of this. It's not a big deal because I'm never going to do it again, pretty much. And like, you know, I can't go on without you, and you know that spiel. But it's such a beautiful, like, and well put together verse. And then not only that, we get a little bit of the, you know, Kendrick's, you know, background of like soul, I guess you could say, into it. When you get to the part where I'm trying to go there, take it slow there, if it's all right. And then that in the background, I go, hey, tell me that you care, baby. We can share for, hey. Like, that just felt at that moment like a Chicago stepper. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like you could step to that moment. It just goes back to his mom's roots. Like that's why I'm saying, like, you know, ask for your forgiveness if it's worth it. I can serve a purpose. If we stutter, it's
because I'm nervous.
It's because I'm nervous. Like, everything that he's saying in that verse is like, you know, like
fits like a glove.
It's perfect. It's perfect for that, you know, song. Absolutely perfect for that song. So, yeah, I understand why that's a 10 out of 10 song. That the beat to the song is not only ballady, but it also grooves, because that was just Quadrant's fucking MO. If it was going to do anything, it was going to make you groove in some type of way.
Yes, sir.
My understanding with not only this, but the self-titled Quadrant album, that's the MO. So, yeah, I absolutely love that song and that album.
Well, folks, that's the show. Haystack hates your music. Haystack helps your playlist. I know that like my intentions going forward with this season was that I was going to respond in kind to like good old Los, like putting me on some old school favorites and some new school favorites. But in my reflection of our older episodes, I realized I made a very big mistake in between the gaps of like our last 3 episodes of the season. We did not do the episode about women who rap.
We took a detour.
We did take a detour, and I want to circle back to that because I said it, and I feel like, no, it's a very important like you know, like I don't know who said it recently on Twitter. I think I may have. I don't know who. I don't know who said it, but like, and I'm not gonna try and like put someone else's name to it. But like, some lady who raps, she's like, it's not female hip hop. It's just hip hop. And because I agree, I need to do a little bit. We need to do a little bit more to just show more love and respect to the MCs that like have got us to this point when like women, like the subgenre of women rappers is bigger and better than ever. To not just like give credence to like the 5 big stars, but to like the 30 other MCs that are giving it all to like this art and culture. So I should have the songs ready for you by payday. That's my goal. I'm not even gonna take more than 3 days to like figure that out because I have a wide selection to choose from that I'm hoping that maybe you don't even know yourself. So that should be a blast. Look forward to that. I think we'll probably like I'm gonna try and lock in by the beginning of June. Cause side note, Lowe's best case scenario, I'll be in the area by mid-June, but I'm gonna be occupied for like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in Mocha for 4 days. I'm gonna be occupied for at least 2 of them. Then I'm leaving right after on the 4th day. The day that I get there, I'm gonna try and at least hit 3 folks, and with you being one of them, so we do our old man walk. So like, look forward to that when like the time comes. Like on that payday, I'm paying for my train ticket, and then I'm gonna lock in. Like I'm gonna make the work request because like I'm gonna have to like borrow against my PTO. Hopefully they give me at least 3 out of the 4. I want 4 days. Hopefully they'll give me at least 3. We'll see. We'll do our best to make it happen when it happens. You know what it is, folks? Like if you go to the description, you'll find like tabs for mutual aid, like current world, like humanitarian crises. Like you can find Los's cash tag. You can find some new music. Shout out my boy Roy from the UK. He has like this 400 episode podcast called Saddest Night Out. It's just a journey of a young black man in England just trying to like find his way in music, and he's just kept track of every significant detail. Like today, his podcast is like, should I get rid of this shit? And I'm like, no, bro. Like when me and LA did our podcast with Benjamin Booker, like dude was like he's like a singer-songwriter from America who lived in Australia at the time, and he's like, it's rare when we have like black brothers just like talking about all sorts of music from all over the world. So we need to just keep like y'all need to keep doing this shit. And so I'm like, Roy, I'm gonna get over there to England and I want to like just talk to you because like this man wears like the same like dress shirt and black slacks playing guitar and bass. Just like I want to really just like get into the industry, but like he's just still having a hard time of it. And I'm like, bro, I also want to get into the music industry and having like a really hard time of it. We need to like just like scratch our heads together and figure it out, you know, because like we speak a similar indie like language in regards to like indie rock and shit, but I'm just like we really just like need to like form we need to like link up. I was at a show not even 2 days ago. I saw Pulses from Virginia, and like I interviewed 2 of them on my stream like months ago. They performed really well. I'm like, we'll be back because we love coming here. And I'm like, yes, like please keep coming back to Philly. Like the headliner was black. Jer Hunter from Ska Tune Network. Shout out Florida. Shout out all my non-binaries. Like we really have an opportunity with this shit to like just like change the whole culture. So y'all know the calls to action. Drink more water. Fucking wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? Like say hi to your neighbors. Tell yourself you love yourself. What's my fucking notepad of this podcast and all its participants acknowledge like the struggles of the people of Yemen, the DROC, Ethiopia, Niger, Somalia, Mali, Myanmar, Burkina Faso, Darfur, South Sudan, Ghana, Palestine. Who else did I fucking forget? Fucking Hawaii.
Just don't spread yourself too thin.
Like, yeah, and it's like, hey man, like pick one, learn, educate yourself, see what you can do. We all have a part to play. Like some posts on Instagram today was like, oh, individualism is killing us all. If there's anything that you owe people, it's love. So like, you know, like hate is easy, but love is worthwhile. So bear that in mind. We'll be back. Hopefully, by the time the summer starts, we should be back. Best case scenario, episode 13 of like Haystack Hates Your Music. Did I forget anything, Los?
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Watch wrestling, watch women's basketball.
As far as this whole kitchen. Well, all right, yeah, no, I do got one final thought actually.
Yeah,
yeah, no, and this hip hop shit, it's about lyricism. It's about breath control. It's about subject matter, and it's like if you can't reinvent yourself at some point, eventually you start to fizzle out. Drake's been around for the past
10 years,
17 years.
Damn.
Something to that effect. Yeah. He's been around for a long fucking time. He's been on top for the last 10 years.
Dropped like 3 times in the last year or so, and like the quality is not there, and that's fucking okay without being shady.
Her loss was when he completely finished his heel turn.
Yeah, LA had some thoughts that I didn't even bring up about how angry he was when he disrespected Miss Meg, and like when that's like the first thing you jump to is like disrespecting, like, oh, you bitches, like in that song with like SZA on like For the Dogs. Like, bro, enough.
But that's the other thing, though. Before her loss, if I'm not mistaken, honestly, Nevermind came out, right?
Yeah, like he was trying to like get ahead of Beyonce with like the whole dance craze.
That's when people started to realize the con. All right, you've been rapping, you've been like talking about the same shit since you first like came out.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you start progressing as a person? Therefore, within your lyrical content, when do you start growing as a person? And well, he doesn't. So
they never have to.
The plan is to just be like Matthew McConaughey in that one movie.
Oh God.
Exactly. And so you're just appealing to one demographic because it works the best. When it's like, why don't you try a different demographic? Like maybe if you like actually age gracefully as opposed to stunting your growth as a person, people will respect you more.
Just a thought.
No, just food for thought. But I'll toss the scraps in the doggy bag.
Hey, man. Hey, for all my dogs, we love you. We respect you. We'll be back soon. This isn't farewell. It's only so long, or however LA likes to say it. Say goodbye, Luce.
Yeah, be easy.
Indeed.
Get black.